10 against the V8 of that Mercedes. It's going to be a drag race, and it's going to be hard to call at this point. You've got Martin against Say. Martin has got the speed, but he's on the outside line. Smith as well looking there. Kevin Say diving to the inside. They're going to go 2 by 2. This is hard to do. Very clean so far. You can see the dirt there going again. You can sometimes over focus on that, but look, not much spray in this first chicane. The switched on drivers will already be thinking about that tyre looking after element you said about a little bit of
safety car procedure, single file safety car procedure.
And that's drama at Old Hall Corner that has triggered the safety car. Sai Sanjay is off the road, I think.
Big damage on the rear right, that McLaren. You can see how it's sat. That is
all happening right now in that 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th battle pack as they swing their way towards McLaren's. But Mike Price has certainly got through the traffic better and built a margin. No question about that. In GT4, Mark Warren leads Ravi Ramyud. We've just talked about the BMW being lapped, but it's second in GT4, up to third in GT4 now is Aidan Neate in number 84 Lotus. And he very soon is going to have Mike Price bearing down on him. Mike Price comes up behind. Car didn't look all that sparkling in qualifying. It was 7th on the grid. Yeah, okay, it's had help with 1 or 2 people having troubles early on in the race, but Johnny Adam has been chipping away. Last time around, the gap was hovering around the 9-second mark, 9.7. It's gone up a bit this time to 10, but you've just seen him have to get through traffic. But certainly he is a lot closer to the Collards in this second stint than Giacomo Petrobelli.
Right-hander at Abbey and Tilbrook already settling in then ahead of Say. Martin third, Petrobelli fourth, Lewin fifth, and Charles Dawson, in fairness, James, looking pretty racy. He's picked up 1 place already. That Mercedes that won at Donington Park last time, they're carrying an extra 30 kilos of ballast in the car this weekend, but at least in the early exchanges, Dawson is putting that behind him and trying to move
up towards the chicane. Let's see whether we get the stunt driving antics from him again. Yep, bang up the curb, and so also does Hopkinson, but Mark Warren is getting closer and closer and closer and closer, so Hopkinson now he's going to have to be oh so creative, because don't forget we're heading towards that pit window. The pit window for the GT4 cars it just starts slightly later than does the GT3 pit window, but as the leaders come once again through the right-hander of Knickerbrook, you still Sven Muller goes through, but yes, straight away that's going to be looked at.
Yeah, drive-through penalty for that one. It was good to have the aggression move, but he just couldn't back out of it. By the time he had sent it, McLeod was quite rightly making his way into the corner. Sven Muller, probably with a bit of red mist after a very poor first lap, has tried to send it, but for me that will attract a penalty.
Right, so Sven Muller goes through. Callum McLeod actually did quite a good job to save.
For that to be a legitimate move, and Dawson closed the door on him. That's my first take on it. There was that awkward moment when they locked eyes, sat across each other on the track. Kevin Say now has gone off as well. That could have been more contact. He was in a cluster of cars coming up.
Let's have a look. So, onto the McLaren. So what's going to happen here? I've been off there last year, actually. It's not a nice place to go off. And so that's the McLaren going off, but that wasn't the Mercedes.
Might help number 7 Aston get back into the game, but perhaps the bigger question is what has caused that so suddenly, because that is quite a big fire. You could see all the black smoke billowing out. Prepare for full course yellow. Peter Daly, the race director, instructs the teams full course yellow straight away. The benefit of doing this is you can get everybody to slow down on instruction. You don't need to worry about the safety car being deployed and picking up the relevant car. You just get everybody to slow down, then you can take control of the race. Right on his shoulder.
Yeah, seasoned, and Morgan Tilbrook not in a happy place against Carl Cavers, like you said, first time in the Optimum McLaren, so he will not be happy. Kirchhoffer has got a lot of work to do from 10th place at the moment.
Does indeed, as they come out of Coram. Right, into the turn 12 left-hander heading up towards the timing line.
Almost doesn't matter where that tarmac is. If it's drier, it is faster, and you just need your outside tyres there. And that is going to be, I think, the name of the game for the next part of this pro stint we're watching.
BMW versus Mercedes. The road is drying fast to the eye.
Yeah, it really is. You can see the cars starting to look for the wetter parts of the track now on the straights, as we see Harper there down.
In theory, looking at the qualifying times yesterday, so yeah, clean start for Dawson.
Matt Topham's on the move in number 1 Lamborghini, up alongside the black and pink McLaren and Mark Smith, who fights back. Look there in the background on the inside line, retakes the place. What's going on in GT4? It is number 90 Mark Warren in the lead. You can see already the difference in pace between GT3 and GT4, how it's 2 distinct races, 2 distinct packs already.
8 seconds of that difference, you know.
That could have been a whole lot worse.
GT3 Aston looming behind as well of Petrobelli, so there is a chance that maybe Meakin can use that as the openers. We see a front left puncher for Martin. Won't be one of their mandatory pit stops either.
No.
This is going to lose them 45 to 50 seconds. This is going to really spice up the race and the championship.
Absolutely crucial moment this. Alex Martin down.
Yeah, he's going to complete the pass. That was pretty textbook into Brooklyn's corner, and a good example not only of straight line performance, but the fact that he got off the loop really well allowed that move to be possible at the other end of the straight. By James Baldwin about how it's been a clean race so far. I claim no responsibility. Exactly, not my fault. So far so good though, certainly. Definitely for the Optimum Motorsport McLaren. They're 1.5.
This in super slow-mo is the Ravi Ramid BMW hitting the curb. Russ Swift two-wheeling. Yeah, exactly. Wow. The engineers, you can almost hear the groan from the pit garages, can't you, when they see that? No, Ravi, don't do that to our lovely car. But it looked from the outside. It was a late dive by Muller. Just clips the rear corner of the McLaren. But yeah, it's a non-contact sport. That was contact.
Yeah, and Muller was, and it's now the battle behind, isn't it? Between McDermott in the Mercedes and the 14 BMW of Chris Salkoud. And there's that given Mark Warren a chance. This is really a 5-car battle, super intense.
Yeah, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th in GT4 title contenders topping and tailing this group for now. That, as it stands, would be the, I should say, and Rob Collard will pop out right towards the back of the top 10. So, Collard is gone from this battle. We know that Alex Martin also has this penalty to serve, doesn't he? Yes, he does.
Bryn Thanks, we're back green, so it is Rob Collard that leads the way from Kevin Say and then Charles Dawson up to 3rd, and with the 2 cars ahead having extra long pit stops, that car suddenly looks as though it's going to be very competitive for a race win. In GT4, meanwhile, there, Ravi Ramid tries to fend off number 69 of Luke Garlick. Garlick tries to chop up to the outside line for Druids, but he's not going to. Really nervous car coming through the S's there, didn't it? So it wouldn't be a surprise necessarily to see the car pit, but that's going to need a new rear wing, and it's going to perhaps need a whole new rear section, and that's just going to take a lot of time. So they're really up against it now.
Yeah, and that then gives the lead in Silverham to the Beach Team Aston. So the 2 blue cars at the tail end of GT3, our Silverham contenders, have now swapped round because of that. I don't think they'll be able to.
Place. Phil Keane coming under attack from Ricky Collard as they dive down towards Old Hall. Ricky not able to do a send up the inside there, wasn't quite close enough. You've got Callum McLeod 5th and Adam Smalley in 6th. As once more we go racing.
Really good restart by Collard there in that 4th place car. A little bit too much curb there. See how unsettled that was there, all streaming through. Maxi Gertz on the back of Johnny Adam there. Not used to seeing drivers like those two, and Marcello in front of them. So
just come round, but yeah, that rejoin was a bit crazy, to be honest. Onto the grass. I mean, fair play to keep it going and get back on track as quick as he did. He reacted well, but yeah, that was very close with the Aston. So with the weight, and the Lotus is off. Is that the 84?
That's 88, isn't it? So that's the car of Ian Duggan. That's in the gravel at Coppice. Prepare for a full course yellow, says race director.
Taking the Ginetta, but the run from Mitchell was so strong round the outside. Surely not. Gets it stopped. Phil Keane on the apex. Great camera view there. Phil's just going to lean on him a little bit, but this is job done for Mitchell. He now has the inside into the last corner.
Brilliant move. Barwell Lamborghini goes up into 5th place. Barwell Motorsport heading for the team's championship if things stay as they are now. And up towards the timing line comes Sandy Mitchell then with that great move.
Aston went for a very late move that was always going to sort of, the door was always going to shut.
We're hearing we may be about to go full course yellow. Yes, prepare for full course yellow, says the timing screen. Now,
was 5 in a line. Simon Orange trying to make up that lost ground. He's not there yet, but he's doing his level best to get back onto terms. And there is Charles Dawson. Remember, that car is heavier because he is a very quick bronze. Cian Jewis a very quick silver. And the championship organisers have decreed that it's in the queue. That was a car that started in the pit lane in the first race. But Blake Anglis, in his first weekend of racing in British GT, coming up from the Ginetta Super Cup, he is going really nicely. Accelerates over the timing line. I'm still mystified as to where the pace of that McLaren has gone, unless it's back to old tyres, because Jack Brown is hemorrhaging.
And Smith, you would say, well, because there wasn't much gap as we picked it up at the apex.
Richard Neary at one point was developing a real reputation for being a wet weather specialist, and these could be the perfect conditions for the former Donington winner in British GT to make some progress. He almost gets attacked though by... And Collard was slow, wasn't he? Look at this. Tilbrook might go one side and Say the other. Collard turns in. Is he heading for the pit lane? Yes, he comes in to serve the penalty. Thank goodness think the car's behind, except they're all still tripping over each other anyway. Kevin Say with Tilbrook behind, so that's been a move, hasn't it? Say 2 places gained out of all of that, one against Collard.
Accelerates down towards Hawthorn. There's the flame licking to the right-hand side.
but that's not flame spitting out on overrun. By this stage, we've got a real problem. You can see the flame again coming out at the side of the car. The smoke as well. Jack knows about this. He aims for the best place he can out of harm's way to get a bit of experience. Yes, the move has been a successful one, look, because Duncan Cameron has got ahead of Morgan Tilbrook. So Morgan, what's going on here? We were tipping you pre-race to go forward. If anything, he's losing out, and Carl Cavers now comes up onto the tail of the number 77 Optimum car. So as they run now down into the this is what happened to Matt Topham. So Nick Jones, I think, had a bit of a moment, and then Matt Topham had his own bigger moment behind, almost like he was caught out by what the Porsche was up to. And here's the rejoin.
Yeah, and I think what happened there, he just sort of panicked, got on the brakes whilst having a load of steering wheel angle on. And
in the traffic, there are battles going on. Rob Collard has got another couple of laps, maybe, before he gives way to Ricky. And that is Mark Smith, who has spun right in front of the leader. Coming out of the last corner, cars scatter each way. If you're committed to the pit lane, you're okay in a sense, because you're going slower and you've got a tighter line. If you're absolutely on it in a GT3 car, the road becomes very narrow, and Mark Smith, he's trying to turn the car around, but he's against the flow of the traffic. He's done it. He's got...
So in a straight line, it's very, very quick. In the corners, in the braking zones, I think that's where it's letting itself down a little bit. So overall lap time probably isn't there compared to the McLarens and the BMWs as such. But yeah, he's got a good run here on the Audi, though. He might be side by side going into Brooklands here.
Well, there's an example of that straight line speed, maybe, because he drags alongside the Audi, gets the inside line into Brooklands, and I think